Alright guys, it's Stephen here on BlueMoonRisingTV and this is the Celtic versus Manchester City preview. But before we get on to that, before I join the wonderful Walter and Alex, I'm going to do the FanDuel part of this section, this preview. And it's a big one this week. It's the Wednesday War Chest, brilliantly named Wednesday War Chest. There's £3,000 in the pot up for grabs and there's £5 to enter. And we have got our team involved. As ever, you've got to be 18 plus and based in the UK to enter this. But we're all in there. I am in there. Alex is in there. Elliot, see if you can beat us. And this is the team we've gone for this week, and we've gone for informed players who get your points. You've got Edison Moraes in goal from Benfica, and he's been joined in defence as well by Grimaldo. Now, he was the one that Pep was allegedly over in Portugal watching. Apparently, he cloned himself to be in two places at once, but he's a very exciting ex-Barcelona youth product, and he is worth goals and points in general. In midfield, well, sorry, not in midfield, in defence, we've got Kazawa from PSG, another attacking fullback, which tends to be a points getter in this game. He's in there as well. And Kasaridi, the Dynamo Kiev defender as well. He's done very well recently on the FanDuel point scoring system. In midfield, we've gone for some big hitters. İlkay Gundogan, he was obviously excellent against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he's due a big game after Swansea at the weekend. And I think he could get a few goals, not a few goals, maybe quite a few points and potentially a goal against Celtic. And Xhaka, the Arsenal man, he's in great form at the moment. He's been banging him in left, right and centre. A few thunderbolts, and hopefully he can get another one as well. Then we've got Anderson Talisca in midfield there from Besiktas. He's in decent form at the moment, got plenty of points. I think it was 37 last week. And the final Benfica player of our team, he's got Franco Cervi. He's been doing very well this season too. Up front, this is where it gets fun. Nolito, he is back from, he's not back from suspension yet. He's just not suspended for the Champions League. So he makes our team because he's almost certain to start, given the fact that we haven't got Kevin De Bruyne. And we probably need him, if I'm being honest, for the shape of our team. So he's in there. Then, obviously, Sergio Aguero. Where would a team be on FanDuel without him, given that he is probably the most informed striker in European football at the moment? 11 goals in 6 games. Alongside Luis Suarez, that would be a partnership and a half. He's also good for a goal. I suspect he'll probably score one against Mönchengladbach as well. That is my team. Don't forget, you can get involved too. I want to see screenshots of your team. I want to see what name you've gone for as well. Get entering the teams, get sending us on the tweets and get in the comments. Let us know what team you've got. But guys, here comes our preview for the Celtic game. All right, guys, it's Stephen here on BlueMoonRisingTV, and I've been joined by these two beautiful gentlemen. Walter, Alex, how are you doing, guys?
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm good. Nice kitchen you got going on there.
Cheers. Thanks, man.
Walter, nice headset.
Well, I've got a lovely classroom here, which indeed is my classroom.
It is. Well, you're going to teach us some wise things today, I presume, and all things Celtic, because it's a big game. This is an absolute massive game. Obviously, we've got Champions League, second game. It could be 11 wins out of 11. Walter, Celtic, this is a huge game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, any game you play in the Champions League is, by definition, it's a huge game. And they've got a great record at home as well. But I've got to boil down to we've got too much for them. I mean, it's a massive, massive game in front of what I believe is one of the best crowds in Europe as well. Yeah. They really are the 12th man up there. And just throwing in the mix, Patrick Roberts as well.
Yeah, I actually think this might be one of our more difficult games of the season, because I think they'll be really up for this. And obviously, as you were saying as well, the fans are going to be really motivated by it, and they'll be really keen to beat like the big money bags from England. That's how the Scottish fans will see it. Alex, you must be pretty excited about this game as well.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I think obviously it's been dubbed in the media the big Colo Torre derby. And I mean, if that's the game that everyone got hyped about before the season, no, I think it is a big one, and I think it's a real tricky one because it's one that I think we are the favourites for. I think we are the bad guys, like you say, we're the big money boys from England. But as well, Celtic, they love a big home tie. And the way that Scottish football is at the minute, they're already cruising. They live for the big Champions League games. It's what their season is all about. And I don't want to call it a giant killing because I think that's almost disrespectful to Celtic. They're a massive club in their own right. But the way that they took Barcelona down in Scotland a couple of seasons ago, they've got it in them. And I think if the night is right, if the weather falls in the right way, if the atmosphere is appropriate, they could make themselves very, very difficult for us and could sneak something from us. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm very wary of Celtic.
Well, I mean, they did get beat 7-0 though by Barcelona. Is it one of those things where we expect kind of a honeymoon, but it might not actually happen? It might be a little bit more of a walkover than we think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they got beat 7-0 by Barcelona, or in much funnier circumstances, got beaten 1-0 by the Lincoln Imps.
Big team, Lincoln Red Imps.
But I think as well, Celtic are one of those where, man for man, is there anyone in their squad that you think could get into a City team? Probably just Patrick Roberts. Is that arrogant of me to say? And it's so yeah, we will be the better side, but Celtic are a team that always, once a season, they tend to pull something out of the bag. Yeah. I know Brendan Rodgers hasn't gone down a storm there, and maybe they've got a lot to prove, but equally, that just builds it up for an upset, doesn't it?
Walter, what would you, if you were a Celtic fan, and you're a Man City fan as well, what would you make of Patrick Roberts from a Celtic fan's perspective playing against his parent club? And as a City fan, do you think that's something that should be happening? Do you think it's right? Or is it potential conflicts of interest there?
I don't think there's any. I mean, these guys are professionals, and he would love, to make a massive impression, to all the hierarchy at City. This is his one chance or two chances in the Champions League to actually show, what he's got to give, because Scottish football can often go under the radar, and I don't know how often he's scouted and how often he's watched. Yeah. But with all the City fans watching and the incredible TV audience watching, he's going to want to put in an absolute performance. He'd love to bag a hat-trick and look Messi-like and walk off with all the spoils. So, no, I honestly, I don't believe there is a conflict of interest whatsoever, no.
I got into a discussion with a few people on Twitter about this, and I was saying personally, as a City fan, my ideal night is that we stuff Celtic and Robert scores a consolation goal that's a worldie. And I got told that I was a bad City fan for that, for wanting us to concede. Is that really that unreasonable, a thought?
Yes.
Yes, well, there we go. Walter's told me I'm a terrible City fan, so Patrick Roberts, if you're watching, don't you dare score. Alex, do you think that Roberts? Do you go along with what Walter's saying there, or is there another side to it potentially?
No, it'd be nice to see him play well. I think you don't want him to enjoy his day too much, but you want him to get something out of it. And I think it's. I'd like to see him do well, but equally, let's not get ahead of ourselves and assume that it's in the bag. Like I said, Celtic are a good side, and it would be classic City to win all the big league games, get on this amazing run, and then go to Celtic and get embarrassed 1-0. How bad would that be if Paddy Roberts scored a winner?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be. I wouldn't know what to, because given my affinity towards the U players, I'd be simultaneously delighted and I'd be more upset than anything, I guess, really. But this is actually a chance now for us to win 11 games out of 11. If I told you at the start of the season, Walter, that we'd be potentially up for winning 11 out of 11, would you check me into a mental hospital or put the odds on?
I look at the fixtures we've actually played, and there's nobody at the top half of the table so much. I don't think I think United are the best team we've played so far this year. And, the teams in second, third and fourth place, we haven't actually gone in and bowled them out of it yet. So you could look at it like we've had a relatively easy start to the season. Still 11 out of 11, or 10 out of 10, should I say, is absolute perfection. Would I be surprised? Yeah, because I always thought it was going to take a while for Guardiola to actually get the team, thinking and playing like Guardiola wants his team to think and play. So, would I be surprised? Yeah, I would actually. But am I happy about it? Oh, yes.
There's that laugh I was hoping for. Alex, when is this bubble going to burst? Because it has to at some point, doesn't it?
Well, who knows? Who knows? We look unstoppable. I think Walter's bang on the money there in terms of, 6 Premier League games, winning 6 on the bounce is amazing. Whether that's at the start of the season, the end of the season, or midway through, it's an awesome record. 6 Premier League games, no Premier League game is easy. Every single team in this league. One of the criticisms of Guardiola is that he's played in leagues like La Liga, like the Bundesliga, where there are those sort of bottom 6 clubs you can expect to steamroll. There are no games like that in the Premier League. Even Bournemouth have got the potential to mix it up. So full credit. We've got Tottenham away. That's always a difficult one for any side in world football, full stop. Everton at home have caused us some issues in the past. So we've got some big games. Maybe those were the stumbling blocks. And I think, say he does the business with Celtic, Guardiola, and we get a point away at Spurs, I think we'd all forgive him that. Let's not get on a bandwagon. I'm not one of these who's going to get upset if we lose. I thought against Swansea, I thought the first half, personally, maybe this is maybe a bit harsh, I thought the wheels came off a little bit. I thought Swansea figured us out, and half-time came at the right time for us. Yeah. But Guardiola did a little bit of pet magic, came out second half and back to business as usual. So as long as we're playing well, let's keep the confidence, let's get the ball rolling. Celtic, let's get a nice big result, let's work hard, and let's not let that complacency, because when the run ends, it'll be because we're complacent and we're overconfident. And as long as we keep working hard and keep the right mentality, I say this like I'm part of the team. As long as the players on the pitch keep the right mentality,
get you a left back, I reckon.
We're fine.
Hey, look, you see what Pep's done to Kolarov. What can he do to Alex Hilton? You know, you'd be get you a right wing back or something. Maybe we play you at attacking centre midfield, because we're missing a player there now. Kevin De Bruyne, that is the big news at the moment. Apparently, he's out for 4 weeks. That's the sound of heart breaking across for City fans across the world. It's awful. It's generally terrible news. How big a blow is this going to be, Walter? He's arguably our most informed player at the moment.
Well, I had visions of Yaya's agent kind of contacting Manchester City and trying to put across the point of, well, I know a player that, you know, could almost fill that role, and the phone getting dead, you know, just slamming that phone down. I'm not interested. Yeah, of course he is. I mean, any team in the world would miss De Bruyne, you know, and that kind of level of just the level of football. And he's almost plays it in widescreen, if you know what I mean. You know, he's seeing things that other players simply wouldn't. You know, the way he picked out Gundogan for the goal against Bournemouth. I mean, it was absolutely spectacular. But what I would say, we've got going into the Celtic game, I think we've got enough depth. I think we can almost put Silva in that role. I mean, that's where he's made his money, and that's where he's made his reputation at City, sitting in that role, which would lead me to think about who would play out on the left and right wings. But of course we're going to miss him. But is he irreplaceable at the moment when we're coming up against Celtic? I don't think he is. Alex,
your take on that?
For me, I think Sterling and Sane start out wide. Personally, I'm looking down the middle, and I'm thinking maybe it's a chance for someone like Alex Garcia to get a couple of games. You know, Pep's already giving him a couple of chances, and that'd be really, really exciting to see him get a couple of league games. But maybe not someone we could rely on in the same way that we rely on De Bruyne. I think he's a long way off that. And you know what? I am bothered by it. It does make me a little bit nervous. Like Walter said, any team in the world would miss a player like Kevin. But all the way through the transfer window, all the way through the last 10 games of Pep Guardiola, we've talked about the amazing depth in the team. And if we can't, we can talk about that depth. It means that. And please take this in air quotes. We can afford to lose a Kevin De Bruyne. The reason it bothers me most is that I don't know who I'm going to build my FanDuel fantasy team around next weekend.
Nice plug there.
He's someone who, De Bruyne, he's an amazing player, and he definitely brings something to every single game he appears in.
Yeah.
But we have got so many talented young lads. Guardiola has got the amazing ability to mix it up. He will find an answer. And I'm going to be honest, look at the way we thought about Aguero leaving the side. Look at the way we looked at Silva. Look at the way Joe Hart. Look at the way Vinny. And yet we've still found a way to get the results without these major names. And I don't really see too much reason, especially with Aguero back in the side now, why De Bruyne will be too badly missed.
Do you know what?
I thought it was quite telling that at half-time, in the League Cup, the one play, he had a lot of, I wouldn't like to call them the B team, but there was a lot of youth in there and a lot of players that haven't played as much. And I thought the one player he brought on to actually, almost like the glue to bring everything together, was De Bruyne.
You've just literally undone everything else you just said there. I was like, don't worry.
No. I mean, I completely agree with you, but I just think it's quite telling that he's the one player that they actually bring on. I mean, Alex was speaking a lot of sense there.
Yeah.
So we have been missing these players, and every time one of our big stars goes down, we're kind of like, we almost revert back to old City type of like, how can we actually, win games without these players? But Pep just seems to sprinkle his magic, as Alex said before.
I think with De Bruyne, he's talismanic in the same way that Aguero for the last 3 years has been talismanic. In the same way that Sean Wright-Phillips back in the day was the one that everyone gets excited about. He's the one that is the star man of the team at the minute, and the play goes through him, and definitely more exciting. I think in the Swansea League Cup game, though, the big difference is you swap at Angelino for De Bruyne. Angelino, really excited young lads, but he's not at a point where he can run a team.
And he's a left back.
Exactly, yeah. So I think he'll make a difference. And I'm not saying that we won't be missed. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't prefer to have him on the side. Of course I would. But I'm saying that we've got the depth in the team that we can deal with this. In the same way that, over the last 2 years, Messi has been in and out of injury at Barcelona. But I doubt Barcelona are saying, it's game over because we haven't got Lionel Messi. Because they've got Suarez and Neymar as well. And I think it's like we're looking and going, all right, we've got De Bruyne. All right, we've got De Bruyne gone. but we've also got David Silva, and we've got Raheem Sterling in the form of his life, and we've got Leroy Sané, who looks so exciting, that can hopefully, together as a unit, glue together and fill that De Bruyne gap.
I couldn't agree more. I think we've got the players now, finally. We've got the manager, at very least, to work out how to adapt to a world without Kevin De Bruyne for the next 3 or 4 weeks at least. And do you know what? He probably, the extended break, because he was just on the verge of tiring himself out when he got his injury. So maybe working out how to play without him in the future is not a bad thing anyway. But let's go and actually just pick the team, because this is obviously a big game. There's a few potential things. I think Nolito's back as well, so he's one to consider, because his suspension is only for the obviously the league and the domestic games. But in goal, gents, it's got to be Claudio Bravo, right?
Yep.
I would imagine so, yeah. I'd imagine so.
Yeah, I think that's an unequivocal yes there, because, Willie, we love you, but Claudio's number one now. Left back, Walter, who are you choosing?
I'm going to go with, I'll go with Kolarov. I think I prefer him actually now in his centre-back role, but against Celtic, got to be Kolarov.
Alex, any disagreements or?
Yeah, I think at left back, Kolarov and Clichy have been interchangeable this season, and I think we'll probably see Kolarov preferred. I think Pep has decided he's more Kolarov man, just to accommodate Stones Otamendi at centre back.
Yeah, it's got to be Stones Otamendi centre back, really. I think we'd all probably agree on that. Right back for me. Now, tell me you disagree. I would go for Zabaleta in this game, because I think he'd have the fight for it. Any disagreements, gents?
No, I see Pablo.
To be honest with you, it's a very much of a muchness.
Yeah.
I actually prefer Sanya in that position. I would pick Sanya, but if somebody told me Zabaleta was playing, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. He's a fantastic professional.
Yeah, I think I'd probably choose Sanya. I'd choose Sanya too, usually. I've got a feeling, given rotation and so on, you just might use Abba in a tough, Celtic away, kind of kicky, fighty game, and I reckon he'll get the nod there. In midfield, this is where it gets interesting. Walter, what would your midfield three be for this game?
I'd be looking... I'd like to see Gundogan play, and I'd also like to see Fernandinho play, and then it's going to be Silva. That's your three. Any
disagreements there, Alex?
I think I'd like to see Gundogan, and I think now Walter and I disagree on this. Is it Gundogan? Is it Gundogan? We need, as a fan base, we need to decide. I think it depends on which TV channel you watch.
We got told a billion times we signed. It's Silky Ilky, that's what it is. That's the official term now. It's Gundogan, apparently, according to all the comments we get.
On Sky, it's Gundogan, but on BT, it's Gundogan. And
BT, the bastions of credibility.
On BBC, it's Gundogan. So what we don't know, right? It's Fernandinho. I'd like to see. He's awesome. All the composure you want for a Champions League game. Yeah. Although Fernando, when called upon this season, has been fine. And I think David Silva has to play. I
think the midfield three at the moment picks itself. The only potential option, I guess, really, is if you wanted to rest Gundogan and maybe firm it up a little bit with Fernando. But I think it'll be the three there that we've chosen, because I think attack will be our how is what we'll do. We'll just go for him, because that'll be our first line of defence, so to speak. Out wide, who do you reckon is going to start out wide, Alex?
Sterling on the left, Sané on the right, I imagine.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. No.
I've gone Waller. What do you reckon? You disagree?
I think, Sterling's been an absolute revelation on the right, so there's no way I'm going to disagree with you there. Iman's looked just like a complete player reborn.
Yeah.
And, he provides not only goals, but they assists. On the left, I can't see beyond Nolito. I think the guy, especially with him being headbutting, he's going to be banned from the Premier League games. So use him when you can and get him in the Champions League squad. And I think I think the team ticks better around him, just simply because he knows that Pep effect and he knows how to play the Pep system better than anybody else there. So with a big match like this, Nolito for me.
I'm going to go Walter. Go on, Alex. You disagree?
No, to be fair, I completely forgot that Nolito was back for the Champions League game. I had a little mind lapse. Yeah, I think you bang on there. Exactly someone who can bully his way through. I think a tough platform.
Timely excuse there. Of course you forgot. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's got to be Nolito, hasn't it? Because I think we've missed his balance, if anything, to be honest. What he brings to the shape of the team and his work rate. He does work. Most people don't notice how much he actually puts a shift in for the team. And obviously, can anyone really see past beautiful Sergio Aguero up top? 11 goals in 6 games. How good is that? How good is that, Walter?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the world's best strikers, I mean, there's no one on this planet I'd swap him for. I mean, the only other guy that's competing on that same level is Suarez. But Aguero is such a beautiful human being as well, unlike our Mr. Suarez. So, I mean, I was watching it there, and the way he makes space for himself, and under Pep Guardiola, with the team actually being focused around Aguero, if he doesn't get injured, and some people will say it's a big if, I could see him scoring 40+ goals this year.
Can't disagree. He's in the form of his life at the moment, and he's looking better than ever as well physically. That beard, it makes me jealous. I've got beard envy every time I see it, because even my girlfriend the other day was like, "He looks good with a beard, doesn't he?" I was like, "Yeah, he does. Stop looking." But yeah, that's our teams. Gents, I can't let you go without a prediction. Alex, what is your score prediction going to be?
It's going to be tight. I'm going to go 2-1 City away from home. I think Celtic have got a goal in them. I think the atmosphere alone will give them a goal. But yeah, 2-1 City. Can't see past City winning.
Walter?
Well, I'm known for my positivity, so I'm going to go for a 4-0 win for City.
Big Walter with the big predictions there. 4-0 is a big one. I'm going to go for, not that anyone cares what I think, but I'm going to go for 3-0. I'm nearly as optimistic as Walter. Walter as well. Walter's glass half full. That's coming soon, right? Everyone's asking for one.
Yeah. We'll be recording next Monday, so hopefully it'll be 12 wins out of 12 at that point, and the glass won't be half full. It'll be overflowing.
You'll need
the
2 pints.
Will just be on there, brandy and cigars. Great time to be alive. Great time to be a Blue.
What a time to be alive, guys. What is your thoughts on the Celtic game? Are we going to stuff him? Is it going to be 11 out of 11? Get in the comments. Let us know your team. Drop a like in the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe, and we will see you soon.